Well, hey everybody, Jim Hall back here for another show. You ought to know, and we're here right outside the Mall of Victor Valley, and we're at Ozel's Jewelers. Look at this location here. This is the new location. Well, it's been over a year or so, but a new location for us since we've talked to him on one of our shows, and we're back here for You Ought to Know. We're going to find out today a little bit about entrepreneurship, and we're going to find out about jewelry. What's new in the way of jewelry? What does it take to design some fine jewelry? And we're going to find out a little bit about the jewelry business overall, what it takes to find out about great diamonds, some of those stones out there, rubies, emeralds, and more. We're going to do that with Abraham Teakin as he joins us as our guest on this show, and we're here just outside the Mall of Victor Valley off Interstate 15 at Ozel Jewelers, simply because you ought to know. Stay with us, everybody. Great show coming up. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, You Ought to Know, here in the Victor Valley, and we're not in the Mall of Victor Valley. We're kind of just on the perimeter of the Mall of Victor Valley. We're at Ozel Jewelers, and last time we actually had the chance to visit Abraham on one of the shows, we were in the Mall of Victor Valley, but you've changed locations. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Now we moved from the mall location we had. We moved right to by the mall, crossway from Red Lobster, in the mall parking lot.
All right, I'm going to hang on to this, but I'm going to tell you something that we haven't talked about in a long time. This guy, quite an entrepreneur, because this isn't only the only location. We're going to talk about that too. There's other locations. Actually, Ozel started where?
Well, originally Ozel started in Redlands.
In Redlands.
In the early 80s. And then after that, in mid-80s, we opened here in Victorville.
Yeah, now your first location in Victorville when you opened was where?
It was in Victor Valley Mall.
In the mall.
1986.
In 1986, so that was when the mall opened that year.
That's when the mall was open. Just when it opened up, we opened up with the mall in November of 1986.
Can you believe it, 22 years later? And look at this.
Can't believe it. You know, the valley grew so much, and it's just unbelievable, a big change.
Well, they're not getting a full background because we're kind of in a workroom. We've started the show kind of backwards. That's because right. I'm going to go with the custom designed ring that you did for me some time ago. This is the one you did, my USC doctoral ring, and we're going to actually get that cleaned up while we're here. So who do we have? Who's your jeweler in here?
Well, I have here, myself, I'm a master jeweler.
That's right, you are.
Yeah, and also my son Jacob, he's also designer, and we have also Angel also are working here, our jeweler repairman.
All right, so we're going to kind of start backwards. Before you see this beautiful showroom and some of the jewelry going on, we talk about how to pick jewelry and how to make jewelry. I'm going to let you go ahead and we're going to get this one checked out and cleaned up. How's it looking?
It looked perfect. Actually, just like you're doing a good job taking good care of it.
All right, so this is the ring.
Make it nice and shine for you.
Can you see that on camera there? There it is. That's the ring.
This is the ring I made for you.
Yep, that's a custom ring, and you designed that.
And designed all that detail just as you want it.
And that came from the college, that is University of Southern California, and then you took that and customized that.
Customized that, make a solid in the back, so very comfortable. Put the big diamonds in the center, it's just gorgeous.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that cleaned up. What's the process for getting that clean?
The process to clean it, what we do, we go by the polisher.
All right, come on here. The camera's going to follow him, so we're headed for the polisher. So as he comes back there, we're going to make our way back there.
We turn this one here.
All right.
This is our polishing facility. So to make it look nice and shine, we use this, what we call Tripoli. This is take all the scratches out, and you'll see how it's coming out.
So this is going to take the scratches out. You can see the polishing wheel there. You see that good on camera there. There you can see that working, and that's a soft wheel, isn't it?
This is the soft wheel.
So we're getting that all polished up and cleaned up.
Right on the polishing part.
This show we're actually starting a little bit backwards. We're not showing you the jewelry. We're actually coming back and showing you how we will clean up some of the jewelry. And you can do that when you come in and get jewelry here at Ozel. You can bring in your jewelry and you can clean it up any old time, right?
Absolutely. Anytime you're here in the area, you stop by, we'll clean them, polish them, make them nice and shine, and I'll check them to make sure everything in good condition, if the prongs are in good shape, and I'll give you also a verbal appraisal on them. All those we do it at no charge. So this way will prevent from you losing the diamonds. If there's light things, we just tighten the stone, we do all that at no charge. And
no charge?
Yeah. Basically what really caused this diamond, you know, lots of customers come in and they lose a diamond. The reason they lose that diamond, number one cause, ring on this magnitude, the prongs need to be retipped on average between 5 to 6 years. However, and some people may last longer than that, and some people may last more than that. But 5 to 6 years, it's a good timing to retip the prongs. You bring them to us, we check the prongs as they are. I could feel those are good prongs, so we don't have to do anything to them. When heavy prongs like this, save the diamonds from two things. One, from losing the diamonds. The other, from chipping the diamonds. Example, if the prongs were out, so all the busing you put on the diamonds go direct to the diamonds. That's how people chip in diamonds. Or the prongs getting very thin, and the minute you hit the diamonds, it's come right out.
All right, now we use the soft wheel over here. What was this over here?
This one here, what we call the red rouge.
What is that called?
Called red rouge.
Red rouge.
This rouge here going to give it a high polish. You see, that was we call Tripoli. This is the red rouge to give it that mere finish.
All right, so this is kind of a soft wheel also.
Correct. This is the softer. So this
All
is.
right, we got about a minute left to finish this up. So this is looking pretty good. Do the diamonds and the prongs look good there on that big diamond?
Perfect shape.
Everything's perfect.
And if you look at it, nice and shine. Now we're coming back to here.
All right, we're going to go right on around.
We're going right to here, and we're going to clean it right there. This is ultrasonic. It has jewelry cleaning solution. So what we do, this is vibrate it, all the rouge, and make it nice and clean. You release it all from there.
Oh wait, now wait a minute. Did you call that ultrasonic?
Ultrasonic, yes.
Ultrasonic. So it's cooking away in there. Using it's using waves of sound.
The wave of the sounds and it clean it up. Dissolve all the polishing rouge we left on it, and also if any cream and oil from the hand, dissolve all that.
All right, so it's going to get rid of all those things. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We're here at Ozel Jewelers, just adjacent to the mall. We're on Amargosa Road. That's where we are, and we're actually going to be in the showroom. We kind of started the show backwards. The rings got cleaned up first. We're going to be in the showroom. We're going to talk about how to pick jewelry, how to get custom-made jewelry, and what it's like having this type of business with Abraham Teakin when we return. Don't go anywhere. We're here at Ozel's Jewelers. Why? Simply because you ought to know. We'll be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, you ought to know, with Abraham Teakin from Ozel Jewelers here in the Victor Valley, just adjacent to the mall. We're at 12200 Amargosa Road, and of course, a big, beautiful building sits on its own right here adjacent to the mall, as I say. And look at my ring. Boy, that shined up real nice. We started cleaning today. We didn't start in the showroom. We started with cleaning that ring that you designed, custom-made design for me.
Yes, I sure did that, and it's just beautiful. As you see, we were able to do all the detail as you wanted. Pavi said diamonds there, just perfect.
Yeah, you put the year on there for me. You put PhD on there, University of Southern California, and then you inset that. We took out the Trojan
Yes.
stone that was in there and put that diamond in there. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, well, it's beautiful. So that's what we do here at Ozels Jeweler. If you come to us, you bring us a picture or drawing or just anything, you tell us what you want. We can sit down with you and design you a ring.
Well, you know, I didn't even do that. You mentioned bring a drawing or bring a picture.
Yeah.
I actually just kind of talked with you and got some ideas
That's
out of
right.
my head, and you drew this thing and you had it on paper for me in a matter of time. Now, you are a master designer.
I am a master jeweler, master designer, and also I import the diamonds from Belgium. So we have it here in Victorville, basically one-stop shop, because I import the diamonds from overseas, and we keep the cost or eliminate the middleman. And on top of it, here we custom make the jewelry, so we eliminate the manufacturer.
Well, that's the real story that we're after here today, because this is not a commercial. This is a show called You Ought to Know.
That's
And
right.
what you ought to know is, number one, you get the diamonds from Belgium. You actually travel to Belgium yourself.
I travel to Belgium and Israel, and I pick them up from the manufacturer right there.
So what does that do for me as the consumer here in the Victor Valley?
Everything's in Victorville, so this way you don't have to go through a retail jeweler store where they buy from locally or importer or from different manufacturer. So right on the top, we save you 28 to 32% at the wholesale level.
Because of the way that you are buying
Yes.
these gems.
Absolutely, for the quality. And then number two, we manufacture them ourselves. So we eliminate the manufacturer profit and labor. So again, we eliminate that manufacturer profit and labor. So you buy direct from us. So what happened with this deal here? Example, the ring we make. It's a high quality, well-made ring. Most of chain store would not even have that quality.
That's right.
And they will not even have that design. And if you look at the chain store quality, they make them all hollow. We make them all solid, as you see here, solid gold. And that's the reason when we custom make it, it turned out really nice and lasts forever. I always tell to my customer, the ring I'm going to make for you, I put on it at least 150 years.
Well, that's a lifetime guarantee.
Absolutely, well, we lifetime guarantee it, and we make it to last for the great grandchildren. Under that condition, when we make a ring, that's how we do it. And my customer always tell me that. Well, your ring is different than all the other jewelers, because when we build a ring, we build on a solid foundation. It's just like Christ said, build on a solid foundation, on a rock.
Well, as you say, you do solid gold. You don't do the hollow gold, so it's a real solid foundation. Now, we'll talk about the custom jewelry because, as you can see, looking at one of the showcases here, a lot of rings. We might find some of these rings in jewelry stores elsewhere, but when you talk about custom jewelry, such as this piece here, we brought this in from the university, but you completely redid this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We completely redid. We put the diamonds in it, put diamond pave, set diamond. Basically, I might want to show you something.
Sure, let's pull a couple of these out of here.
If you look at this ring here, this is the ring we make, we manufacture, we stamp Ozel on the back of it. When you look at this one on the side here, you can see how thick and heavy and well it's made. Normally, if you would buy this one from retail chain store, you're not going to get this solid, because this you gotta look at the gold is almost $1,000 an ounce. So manufacture, mass production, they trying to make from 1 ounce of gold a 3 ring instead of 2.
Right.
So basically that's how they work it. Well, when we make it, we really don't even think about that part. We think how we going to put a product will last forever. If you look at this ring, all solid. The back part, let's see the bridges here, all solid. And this ring is made to last forever, because there's really nothing to fall apart in this ring. And if you feel it, it's heavy. When you pick up other rings,
that is a heavy set.
Right, this is
That's a very heavy set.
And that's what make it, because we make it, we custom make it. If a chain store would want to make, example, this ring, they may have to make, if they have a 500 store, they may have to make 500 in one time. Well, their idea and their designing philosophy is how light can we make it? Because if they could save a 20 or 30% of the gold, meaning that they could make another extra ring in 1 ounce of gold.
Well, and when they do that, they're manufacturing multiples in the stamp type formation.
That's correct. And when they, it's mass production. So the quality, it may look alike, You know, it may look a nice design, but it doesn't have the foundation of this ring has.
All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the foundation of the rings. We're going to talk about the price of gold when we come back. And we've got some diamonds here because he talked about importing diamonds from Belgium and Israel. And we're going to talk about some of that and how that can save you some money and how you can come in and get your own custom designed jewelry here in the Victor Valley. And by the way, how is jewelry doing here in the Victor Valley? We're going to find out. Why? Simply because you ought to know. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, you ought to know, here at Ozels Jewelers in the Victor Valley. Now, we talked about locations. You have Redlands. You have here in the Victor Valley, which we're actually in the mall in 1986 when the mall opened. And look at you, you're in your own mall right outside the mall.
Right. Well, thank you. Well, we have a location in Rancho Cucamonga. We opened that in 2006.
Yeah, then I'll talk about that because beautiful building down there, right across from the Ontario Mills Mall. If anybody wants to stop in, they say, "Wait a minute, Ozel, we have Ozel in the Victor Valley." It's the same one.
It's the same one. The clock tower.
Yep.
Is a clock tower, and also we have one in Palm Desert on El Paseo Drive.
And you have, of course, the Redlands location.
Well, Redlands location, that's my brother's store.
All right, so that is Ozel Jewelers, and if you're down in the Ontario area across from Ontario Mills and you see the clock tower, it is certainly related.
Absolutely. I built that building and we put the store there. We have 5,000 square foot of a showroom. It will be really nice for you to come and see. We'd love to have you see in the store, and my wife there, and we'll serve you the best cappuccino in town.
Yeah, now how does that work? Let's talk about that real quick, because you've got Jacob, his son, is right over here adjacent to us, and we'll have a shot of Jacob working on camera here. But you guys are here, so your wife is where?
Well, my wife, she work in Rancho. She runs that store, and Jacob and I, between the three of us, we kind of exchange days, so we go back and forth.
So it really is a family business.
Family business, and in Palm Desert store, I have my brother and my son.
Yep.
So they work that store also.
But I mean, yeah, that's keeping it in the family.
We are keeping the family, so the whole family working very hard.
All right, now you go to Belgium looking for those diamonds.
Yes.
And other stones. You get other stones and what have you. But diamonds primarily from Belgium and Israel.
Well, the diamonds, that's really our specialty. Mostly that's where we get the diamonds from. Sometimes we get color stone, but most of the color stone I buy them locally here.
Let's look at some of these. Tell me about what we're looking at here and what are we getting when we talk about quality diamond?
Well, in the diamonds, when you look at the quality diamonds, rule of thumb, when you look at with your eye, if you see an occlusion in it, what we call it an eye clean diamond. So
Can you
that's
see that on
called,
camera there? Hold
that's
that
called
there.
for-
Look at that diamond there.
That's called I1. Now, if you look at it with the loop, and you can see a little bit of an occlusion in it, we're called SI1, slight an occlusion in the diamond. But when you look at with the loop and you can't see anything in it, or you can see something where you cannot make a decision if you are seeing a black PK or not, we call it a VS1.
All right, now this
Very slight an occlusion in the diamond.
this little diamond here, we don't have loops on. Now look in this paper here. Can the camera see that?
Sure.
Take a shot of that. Now what do we got here represented here?
Those are, most of those are VS to SI1. So example, with those are all eye clean. With your eye you cannot see anything in them, but on some of them, if you look at with the loop or a microscope, you may see slight PK in them.
Okay,
And
but
that's
what are we talking about? Most people would say, how many carats is that? So what do we, each one of these little diamonds here is about how many carat?
about approximately 20 carats total weight in this parcel. They average it from 1/3 to half carats.
1/3 to half carat per diamond, and you've got about 20 carats of diamond just in this piece of paper here. Take a look at this, everybody. And this is imported diamonds from?
This is imported from Israel. Yeah, this is a friend of mine. He owned the manufacturer. Matter of fact, he's a second generation friends, kind of like a relative.
Now, how is the Victor Valley treating you business-wise when it comes to jewelry?
Well, I just want to say to Victor Valley and the high desert, thank you very much for making Ozels Jewelers the leading jeweler store in the area. I really appreciate your business. I appreciate your confidence in Ozels Jeweler. We are just having a wonderful time here, and I just have awesome customer. I just have to say I'm a very lucky man to be in a town like the high desert. Has been a blessing business for us. Business has been very good.
Well, we talked about entrepreneurship, and to be started in the mall 20 years ago when the mall opened, and to be in this location that you're at now, this beautiful building, fantastic facility, and look at all the fine jewelry here. It just speaks of the fact that you must have that, confidence of the customer. Absolutely. And they keep coming back and telling other people because it just multiplies.
Well, the way our business run, basically, we have a 3-generation customer. So I always tell it to my customer, if you come to business with us one time, you will not even, whatever, you'll bring the whole family, because I believe in treat other people like you want to be treated. You know, I always say for a customer, you have to provide a 3-in-1: price, quality, and service. So we are very lucky, and we could provide that good service and the good price and the good quality, because we are complete in the business. Since we are able to make the jewelry, since we are able to import it, and since I'm able to sell it myself, so I can provide that service.
Well, and you certainly do. Real quick, we got just about a minute left. Talk about gold, which has gone through the ceiling as of late price-wise.
Well, basically the gold price is going crazy high. Right now the gold as today, it's about 920. As you know, the gold went up to 1,070 and reset back to 940 and 920 right now. Gold is the highest ever been, all-time high. Now, if you have an old jewelry, you're going to bring them to us. One, I could pay you top dollar buying it, or I could custom design them for you.
Yeah, make something custom out of that.
Customize, understood? You go buy anything else and buy gold. Bring your old jewelry. We'll custom make them. You'll be saving lots of money.
All right, here at Ozels Jewelers, we're at 12200 Amargosa Road. That's where we came for this show today. Take a look one more time. Look at these beautiful diamonds imported from Israel. And you make the trips how many times a year?
I do at least once a year and sometimes twice a year.
All right. And why did we come out here to the Victor Valley Mall, just adjacent to the mall, to this beautiful building, to Ozels Jewelers, to find out not only about getting this ring checked out, cleaned up, but to look at these fine jewels and diamonds, and to find out about Abraham Tekin, Jacob, and the entire family at Ozels Jewelers, where they can keep you in mind in custom jewelry. Oh, and the price is always right. Why are we here? Simply because you ought to know. Stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap it up. Well, thanks for joining us for another show, everybody. Jim Hall, you ought to know, from Ozels Jewelers, the location right here outside the Mall of Victor Valley in their own building. Look at this, 12200, and it's here on Amargosa Road. Ozels Jewelers, where we found out about jewelry, had the opportunity to talk to Abraham Tekin, the owner of Ozels, not only here in the Victor Valley, in Redlands, Palm Desert, and on their new location, fantastic site right across from the Ontario Mills Mall down in Ontario. And it's been a privilege bringing you this show, finding out about the jewelry, getting our rings cleaned, picking some fine stones, gold, and a whole lot more. We'll be back with you next week right here for another show. And why did we come to Ozels Jewelers here in the Victor Valley? Simply because you ought to know. See you next time, everybody.